Did Pamela Anderson just shut down one of Hollywood's boldest and most talked about rumors? Or did she only add more fuel to the fire? The whispers started quietly, like they always do in Hollywood. But within weeks, they had exploded into full-blown headlines across tabloids, blogs, and fan forums. Pamela Anderson and Liam Neeson, two legendary stars from different corners of the entertainment world, suddenly linked in a supposed romance. It's the kind of story the media craves. Unexpected, glamorous, and just believable enough to send fans into a frenzy. But the story took a sharp turn when Pamela stood before a packed audience at the Deauville Film Festival and delivered a message that no one saw coming. In a fiery speech, she dismissed the rumors with a rare kind of honesty, making it clear she wasn't about to let Hollywood dictate her personal life. And yet, as bold as her words were, they opened a new mystery. Was this a simple case of gossip spiraling out of control? Or is there a hidden truth Pamela doesn't want the world to know? Her denial wasn't the end of the story. It was the beginning of a bigger question, and what followed left the public even more divided. It was September 5th in France, at the 51st Deauville Film Festival, a prestigious event where stars gather not only to celebrate cinema, but also to cement their legacies. Pamela Anderson was there to receive the coveted Deauville Talent Award, a recognition of her decades-long career and cultural impact. Dressed in elegance and stepping into the spotlight, she seemed every bit the icon she has always been. But what happened next caught everyone off guard. Instead of basking in the glory of her award, Pamela used her time on stage to tackle the rumors head-on. "I do not and will never feed into PR stunts," she declared, her voice carrying through the theater. That would be a death sentence. Those words didn't just sound like a denial. They sounded like a warning, a reminder that she wasn't about to play Hollywood's games. She went on to describe herself as authentically driven, admitting she is superstitious when it comes to love and isn't comfortable sharing even a shred of her romantic life. The audience was stunned. But here's the twist. By addressing the rumors so directly, Pamela didn't just dismiss them. She gave them more power. Because in Hollywood, a flat-out denial can often sound like a carefully disguised confirmation, and the whispers only grew louder. The story of Pamela and Liam didn't just come out of nowhere. It began with subtle signs and carefully observed interactions during their joint appearances. As their chemistry was noted by fans and interviewers, the gossip machine did what it always does. It spun a narrative that took on a life of its own. Headlines popped up suggesting their connection was more than professional, and soon it was everywhere. Talk shows, celebrity blogs, and even mainstream outlets ran with it. For the public, it was the perfect storm. Two stars, both single, both charismatic, both magnetic on screen. The suggestion of romance wasn't just plausible, it was irresistible, but Pamela drew a line in the sand. By rejecting the idea that her romance could ever be a publicity stunt, she didn't just push back on the rumor, she dismantled the notion that her life could be scripted by media agendas. Yet here's the paradox. Her denial made the rumor even more compelling. If it wasn't PR, then what was it? Was there truly nothing happening, or was there something private she wanted to protect? This is where the story grew legs. Because the more Pamela insisted on sincerity, the more people wondered if she was hiding something even juicier. The story of Pamela and Liam didn't just come out of nowhere. It began with subtle signs and carefully observed interactions during their joint appearances. As their chemistry was noted by fans and interviewers, the gossip machine did what it always does. It spun a narrative that took on a life of its own. Headlines popped up suggesting their connection was more than professional, and soon it was everywhere. Talk shows, celebrity blogs, and even mainstream outlets ran with it. For the public, it was the perfect storm. Two stars, both single, both charismatic, both magnetic on screen. The suggestion of romance wasn't just plausible, it was irresistible, but Pamela drew a line in the sand. By rejecting the idea that her romance could ever be a publicity stunt, she didn't just push back on the rumor. She dismantled the notion that her life could be scripted by media agendas. Yet here's the paradox. Her denial made the rumor even more compelling. If it wasn't PR, then what was it? Was there truly nothing happening, or was there something private she wanted to protect? This is where the story grew legs, because the more Pamela insisted on sincerity, the more people wondered if she was hiding something even juicier. Earlier in the summer, before her fiery speech in France, Pamela and Liam had already given fans plenty to talk about. During an appearance on NBC's Today Show, they sat across from host Craig Melvin, who wasted no time asking the question on everyone's mind. "Are you two an item?" Liam responded with charm, admitting he had never met Pamela before their work together. But once they did, they discovered what he called a lovely budding chemistry. Pamela agreed, nodding as though the connection was obvious, but neither was willing to label it. Liam then added a line that instantly made headlines. "Let's not mold this. Let's just let it breathe." That phrase was picked apart everywhere. Was it a refusal to answer, or was it a quiet confirmation that something was indeed happening? Fans latched onto the idea that this wasn't a denial but an admission in disguise. And here's where the plot thickens. Pamela's later denial at Deauville didn't erase this moment, it amplified it. Because once you've told the world to let it breathe, people will keep watching, waiting for signs that the spark is growing. As with any Hollywood rumor, the real spectacle wasn't just what the stars said, it was how the public reacted. Online, the debate turned into a full-blown war of opinions. Some fans believed Pamela's every word, applauding her for rejecting cheap publicity. Others mocked the denial, pointing out that her chemistry with Liam was impossible to fake. Memes flooded Twitter, TikTok edits paired their interviews with romantic music, and hashtags like #Pam and Liam trended for days. The media poured gasoline on the fire, dissecting every glance, every smile, every interview moment. Some outlets suggested Pamela's speech was a brilliant reverse psychology tactic. Deny the romance to keep people curious. Others speculated it was a cover-up for something too fresh to reveal. But here's where it gets interesting. Denials often make stories last longer. By giving the rumor oxygen through her speech, Pamela may have unintentionally made it bigger than ever. The media's spin turned her refusal into the very proof fans thought they needed. And what started as gossip became a global guessing game no one could walk away from. At the heart of this story is something bigger than a romance rumor. It's about Pamela Anderson's fight for her legacy. She ended her festival speech with the words, "I'm here not for money or fame, but to leave behind an honest legacy my family can be proud of." Those words were powerful, especially from a woman who has lived decades under the microscope, often defined by others rather than herself. By taking control of her narrative, Pamela wasn't just protecting her personal life. She was rewriting the way she wants to be remembered. But here's the twist. In trying to shut down the speculation, she may have made it immortal. Because in Hollywood, mystery often outlives clarity. By refusing to play the PR game, Pamela created a new kind of intrigue, one that makes fans wonder if the truth is far more surprising than the headlines suggest. So now, the legacy she's building isn't just about her work or her values, it's about the unanswered question she left hanging. Is there truly nothing there with Liam, or is there a story unfolding in the shadows that will one day come to light? Until then, the world will keep watching, waiting, and guessing.